Pendleton is the location of Anderson County's only faith cabin library. We'll look at the history of this building next under the kudzu. The Depression, rural Anderson County. Segregation kept African Americans out of public schools and school systems. Many African American children were educated in black-only schools, but library access was still out of their reach. With an entire state system against him, along came Willie Lee Buffington, a young white mill worker, and his plans to bring libraries to African Americans. From 1931 to the mid-1970s, faith cabin libraries provided book collections for rural African American communities. Over 100 cabins were constructed across South Carolina and Georgia. Sadly, few remain standing. Buffington's inspiration for the library system came from his admiration for Uriah Simpkins, an African American schoolteacher he knew as a child. While Buffington was studying in Connecticut, Simpkins sent him $1 each week. To repay his kindness and to help African Americans learn to read, Buffington opened his first library near Plum Branch in Saluda County. To fill his library, Buffington needed books. Since he had little in the way of funds, Buffington wrote letters to women's clubs in the South and Northeast. When the Plum Branch Library was opened, there were over 1,000 volumes on the shelf. One such library was constructed in Pendleton, although there are conflicting dates regarding when it was built. It was completed using WPA labor between 1936 and 1937. By 1940, the library contained 5,197 volumes. Of the original 26 libraries in South Carolina, the Pendleton Library is one of 2 still intact. In 2012, a historical marker was erected near the library, and on November 14th of that year, the library was added to the National Register of Historic Places. Despite segregation and Jim Crow, there were positive examples of the relationship between African Americans and whites in Anderson, and we hope that these last few stories have demonstrated that. I'm Brian Scott, and we'll look at a lot more history coming in Anderson next month under the kudzu.